Welcome to the deep dive. Today, AI risk management. You're prepping for the CRISC exam, right?
Yeah.
Specifically that AI risk management section. We've got you covered. You sent over 25 CRISC-style multiple-choice questions, perfect for this deep dive. Really focused way to hit those key AI risk concepts. And joining us is our expert in all things cybersecurity and risk management. Really great at connecting these technical concepts to real-world scenarios, which is exactly what you need for the exam. Ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, first question. Which of the following is a primary risk associated with AI systems? A, increased operational efficiency. B, data privacy breaches. C, enhanced customer experience. Or D, improved decision-making. What do you think? What's the biggest risk here?
Well, it's kind of a trick question, right?
Yeah.
Options A, C, and D, those are all potential benefits of AI, but the key word here is risk.
Exactly. The answer is B, data privacy breaches.
AI systems, they're trained on massive data sets, and a lot of times that data can be super sensitive if those systems aren't properly secure. It's like leaving the door wide open for hackers.
Right.
Thinking about all the data breaches you hear about in the news, those risks are amplified when AI is involved. Big time.
Okay, so data privacy is a major concern.
Mm-hmm.
On to question 2. What is the main purpose of AI risk management? Is it A, to eliminate all risks associated with AI? B, to identify, assess, and mitigate risks associated with AI? C, to promote the use of AI in all business processes? Or D, to ensure AI systems are always operational?
This one really gets to the heart of risk management, I think. We can't eliminate all risks entirely. That's just not realistic.
Right.
But we can be smart about how we approach them.
So it's not about eliminating risk altogether, it's about managing it strategically.
Exactly. So the answer is B, to identify, assess, and mitigate those risks associated with AI. It's a proactive approach. Figure out what could go wrong, then you evaluate the likelihood and potential impact, and finally you put measures in place to minimize those risks.
Well, the cycle of continuous improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, question 3. Which of the following is a key Y component of an AI risk management framework? Is it A, AI system development, B, risk identification and assessment, C, marketing strategies, or D, customer feedback analysis?
Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't start construction without a solid foundation, right?
Of course not.
Well, an AI risk management framework is no different. The foundation is B, risk identification and assessment, understanding the potential pitfalls of your AI system before you even start building it.
So without a thorough risk assessment, you're essentially building your AI house on, like, shaky ground.
Precisely. Vulnerable to all sorts of problems down the line.
Got it. Question 4. What is a common method for assessing AI risks? Is it A, SWOT analysis, B, risk matrix, C, pest analysis, or D, market research?
When it comes to assessing risks, especially in a technical field like AI, you need a tool that's both visual and quantifiable.
So you can easily see the biggest risks and prioritize them. That sounds like B, risk matrix.
You nailed it. A risk matrix allows you to plot the likelihood of a risk happening against its potential impact. This creates a clear visual representation of which risks require the most attention.
Okay.
You might find, for example, that the risk of an AI system being hacked is relatively low, but the potential impact of such a breach could be catastrophic. This would make it a high priority risk, even though it's not very likely.
On to question 5, and this one is about algorithmic bias. Which of the following best describes algorithmic bias? Is it A, AI systems making decisions faster than humans? B, AI systems producing unfair outcomes due to biased data? C, AI systems requiring less human intervention? Or D, AI systems improving over time with more data? This is a big one, and I'm sure a lot of people listening have heard about it in the news.
Absolutely. Algorithmic bias essentially means that an AI system is producing results that are systematically unfair to certain groups of people.
It's usually not because the AI is inherently biased, right?
Right. It's often a reflection of the data it was trained on. Imagine training an AI on loan applications that historically favored certain demographics. The AI, even with the best intentions, might perpetuate those biases if the data isn't carefully curated and adjusted.
So the answer is B, AI systems producing unfair outcomes due to biased data.
That's the one.
Question 6. Why is data quality so important in AI risk management? Is it A, it ensures faster processing times? B, it reduces the risk of biased or inaccurate AI outputs? C, it increases the cost of AI implementation? Or D, it simplifies the AI development process?
Think of it this way. If you're baking a cake and you use spoiled ingredients, the cake's not going to turn out very well, is it?
Definitely not. It wouldn't matter how perfectly you follow the recipe.
Exactly. Data is the key ingredient in AI. B, it reduces the risk of biased or inaccurate AI outputs. Low-quality data can lead to all sorts of problems, from inaccurate predictions to discriminatory outcomes.
Let's move on to question 7. What could happen if you don't manage AI risks properly? Is it A, increased customer satisfaction, B, regulatory fines and penalties, C, higher profit margins, or D, improved market share?
This is where things get real. We're not just talking about hypothetical risks here. We're talking about real-world consequences.
And those consequences can be severe.
Absolutely. In today's regulatory environment, mishandling AI can lead to B, regulatory fines and penalties. Think about the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR in Europe, or the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA. They have serious teeth, and companies can face hefty fines for non-compliance.
Okay, so AI risk management is not just a technical issue, it's also a legal one.
Precisely.
Question 8. What's the role of governance in AI risk management? Is it A, to develop AI algorithms, B, to oversee and ensure compliance with AI risk management policies, C, to market AI products, or D, to provide technical support for AI systems?
Governance is all about setting clear guidelines and making sure everyone follows them.
So in the world of AI risk management, governance is about making sure everyone is playing by the rules.
Exactly. The answer is B, to oversee and ensure compliance with AI risk management policies. Good governance helps to ensure that AI is being used responsibly and ethically within an organization.
Question 9. Which of the following is an example of an AI risk mitigation strategy? Is it A, ignoring minor risks, B, implementing robust data validation processes, C, reducing AI system usage, or D, increasing AI system complexity?
This one highlights a common misconception about risk management,
Oh.
that you can simply ignore small risks and hope they go away.
But that's like ignoring a small leak in a boat, right? Eventually it could sink the whole ship.
Exactly. The best way to manage risk is to proactively address it. And when it comes to AI, one of the most effective strategies is B, implementing robust data validation processes.
So it's about making sure the data you're feeding your AI is clean and accurate from the start.
Precisely. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
All right, on to question 10. What is the significance of transparency in AI systems? Is it A, it makes AI systems more complex, B, it helps build trust and accountability, C, it reduces the need for human oversight, or D, it increases the cost of AI implementation?
Transparency is all about understanding how AI systems work and why they make the decisions they do.
Yeah,
Think of it like a chef showing you exactly how they made your meal. You'd probably feel more confident eating it, right?
definitely. So the answer is B, it helps build trust and accountability.
That's right. When users understand the logic behind an AI's decision, they're more likely to trust it. And if something goes wrong, it's easier to trace back the steps and figure out what happened.
This has been so insightful. Okay, we're on a roll. Next question. What is a challenge in AI risk management? Is it A, high accuracy of AI predictions, B, lack of standardized risk assessment frameworks, C, abundance of high-quality data, or D, rapid advancements in AI technology?
This one highlights kind of a growing pain in the field of AI. The technology is advancing so rapidly, but the regulations and guidelines haven't always kept pace.
So is the answer B, lack of standardized risk assessment frameworks?
Exactly. This lack of standardization can make it difficult for organizations to know how to approach AI risk management consistently and effectively. Imagine trying to build a car without any industry standards for safety or performance. It would be chaos.
Okay, so we need those clear frameworks to guide responsible AI development.
Absolutely.
On to question 12. This is about ethics. How can organizations ensure ethical AI use? Is it A, by maximizing AI system performance, B, by implementing ethical guidelines and policies, C, by reducing AI system costs, or D, by increasing AI system complexity?
Ethical AI is all about using AI for good,
Right.
but that's easier said than done.
It can't just be a vague intention. You need actionable steps, right?
Absolutely. That's why B, by implementing ethical guidelines and policies, is so crucial. These guidelines should address issues like bias, fairness, transparency, and accountability. Think of it as creating a moral compass for your AI.
I like that analogy.
It helps to ground the conversation, you know?
Yeah, it does. Question 13. How does regulatory compliance impact AI risk management? Is it A, it reduces the need for risk assessments, B, It ensures AI systems adhere to legal and ethical standards. C, it increases the speed of AI deployment. Or D, it decreases the overall cost of AI implementation.
Regulations are there to protect individuals and society as a whole.
Right.
Think of them as guardrails on a winding road.
So in the context of AI, regulatory compliance helps ensure responsible development and use.
Exactly. The answer is B. It ensures AI systems adhere to legal and ethical standards. Regulations help to establish a baseline for what's acceptable and what's not when it comes to AI.
Great analogy. All right, question 14. What is a benefit of effective AI risk management? Is it A, increased operational costs, B, enhanced reputation and trust, C, reduced innovation, or D, limited AI system usage?
When organizations demonstrate a commitment to responsible AI, it sends a strong signal to customers, investors, and the public.
It builds trust. So the answer is B, enhanced reputation and trust.
Right on. Companies that prioritize AI risk management are seen as more reliable and trustworthy.
That makes sense. Let's move on to question 15. What is the purpose of continuous monitoring in AI risk management? Is it A, to reduce the need for human intervention, to identify and address emerging risks in real time, C, to increase the complexity of AI systems, or D, to decrease the cost of AI implementation?
Remember how we talked about the rapid pace of AI development? Well, that means the risks associated with AI are constantly evolving too.
So you can't just assess the risks once and then forget about them. You need to keep an eye on things.
Exactly. Continuous monitoring, which is B, to identify and address emerging risks in real time is crucial for ensuring that your AI systems remain safe and effective over time. Think of it like regularly checking the weather forecast before you go sailing. Conditions can change quickly, and you need to be prepared to adjust your course.
Okay, time for question 16. Which of the following is a risk associated with AI decision-making? Is it A, improves decision accuracy, B, lack of transparency and explainability, C, increased human oversight, or D, enhanced decision speed?
One of the biggest challenges with AI is that it can be a bit of a black box. It's not always clear how it arrives at a particular decision.
So the risk is that we don't fully understand the AI's reasoning.
Exactly. That's B. Lack of transparency and explainability. This can be a major problem, especially if the AI is making decisions that have significant consequences for people's lives. If we can't understand why an AI made a certain decision, it's hard to trust it.
Makes sense. Now for question 17. How can organizations address the risk of AI system failures? Is it A, by ignoring minor issues, B, by implementing robust testing and validation processes, C, by reducing AI system usage, or D, by increasing AI system complexity?
This one really emphasizes the importance of preparation and due diligence. Ignoring potential problems is never a good strategy.
So it's not about avoiding AI altogether or making it more complex. It's about making sure it's working properly in the first place.
You got it. The answer is B. By implementing robust testing and validation processes. Before deploying any AI system, it's crucial to put it through rigorous testing to ensure that it's reliable and behaves as expected.
All right, on to question 18. What is the role LE of human oversight in AI risk management? Is it A, to eliminate the need for AI systems, B, to ensure AI systems operate without errors, C, to monitor and intervene when necessary, or D, to reduce the cost of AI implementation?
AI is a powerful tool, but it's still just a tool. It needs human guidance to make sure it's being used ethically and effectively.
So even with all the advancements in AI, humans still play a critical role.
Absolutely. The answer is C, to monitor and intervene when necessary. Human oversight is essential for ensuring that AI systems are being used responsibly and that they are aligned with our values.
Question 19. What is a key consideration in AI risk assessment? Is it A, AI system performance, B, potential impact on stakeholders, C, marketing strategies, or D, customer feedback?
When we assess risk, we need to think beyond just the technical aspects.
We need to think about the people who will be affected by the AI. That sounds like B, potential impact on stakeholders.
Exactly. Stakeholders can include anyone who is impacted by the AI system, from customers and employees to the wider community. We need to think about the potential benefits and risks for all these groups.
We are on the last leg of this section. Let's do it. Question 20. What is the significance of accountability in AI risk management? Is it A, it reduces the need for risk assessments, B, it ensures responsible AI use and decision-making, C, it increases the speed of AI deployment, or D, it decreases the overall cost of AI implementation?
Accountability is all about making sure that someone is responsible for the actions of an AI system.
So it's about having clear lines of responsibility if something goes wrong.
Exactly. And that leads to B. It ensures responsible AI use and decision-making. Accountability fosters a culture of responsibility and helps to prevent AI from being used in harmful or unethical ways.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, on to question 21. Which of the following is a method to mitigate data privacy risks in AI? Is it A, ignoring data privacy concerns, B, implementing data encryption and anonymization techniques, C, reducing data collection, or D, increasing AI system complexity?
We've talked a lot about data privacy already, and this question gets to the heart of how we protect that data.
So it's not about collecting less data or making the system more complex. It's about securing the data you do have.
Precisely. Implementing data encryption and anonymization techniques is essential for safeguarding sensitive information. Encryption scrambles the data, making it unreadable without a key, while anonymization removes identifying information. These techniques help to minimize the risk of data breaches and ensure that individuals' privacy is protected.
Great explanation. On to question 22. What is the impact of AI on cybersecurity risks? Is it A, it eliminates cybersecurity threats, B, it introduces new vulnerabilities and attack vectors, C, it reduces the need for cybersecurity measures, or D, it simplifies cybersecurity management?
AI is a double-edged sword when it comes to cybersecurity.
How so?
On the one hand, it can be used to enhance security measures and detect threats more effectively, but on the other hand,
Yeah.
it can also be introduce new vulnerabilities and attack vectors. As AI systems become more complex and interconnected, they create new opportunities for hackers to exploit. Think of it as an arms race. As defenders develop new AI-powered security tools, attackers are also developing new AI-powered ways to circumvent those tools.
Okay, so AI makes the cybersecurity landscape even more complex.
It certainly does, and that means organizations need to be even more vigilant and proactive in their cybersecurity efforts.
3 more questions to go. This one is about bias. How can organizations manage the risk of AI bias? Is it A, by using diverse and representative data sets, B, by reducing AI system usage, C, by increasing AI system complexity, or D, by ignoring minor biases?
Remember how we talked about the importance of data quality? Well, that applies to bias as well.
So is it A, by using diverse and representative data sets?
You got it. If you train an AI system on data that is biased or incomplete, it's likely to perpetuate those biases in its decisions.
It's like that saying, you are what you eat.
Exactly. To mitigate bias, you need to make sure AI is eating a balanced and representative diet of data.
On to question 24. What is the ROLE of stakeholder engagement in AI risk management? Is it A, to develop AI algorithms, B, to ensure AI systems meet stakeholder needs and expectations, C, to market AI products, or D, to provide technical support for AI systems?
AI isn't just a technical issue, it's a social one.
Right.
It's important to consider the perspectives of everyone who could be affected by an AI system.
That sounds like B. To ensure AI systems meet stakeholder needs and expectations.
Exactly. Stakeholder engagement involves communicating with and gathering feedback from a wide range of people, including customers, employees, regulators, and the general public. This helps to ensure that AI is being developed and used in a way that is aligned with societal values and expectations.
Okay, final question. Question 25. Which of the following is a potential risk of AI in decision-making processes? Is it A, enhanced decision speed, B, lack of human judgment and context, C, improved decision accuracy, or D, increased human oversight?
This question highlights a fundamental difference between AI and human intelligence. While AI can process information and make calculations at incredible speed, it often lacks the nuanced understanding of context that humans bring to decision-making.
So the answer is B, lack of human judgment and context.
Precisely. AI might be able to make a decision based on data, but it might not fully grasp the ethical or social implications of that decision.
So human oversight is essential to ensure that AI decisions are not just accurate, but also ethical and appropriate for the situation.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to have humans in the loop when it comes to AI decision-making.
Wow, we just zipped through 25 questions before we move on to the next section.
Oh.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
It's important to remember that AI risk management is not about, fearing AI or stifling innovation. It's about harnessing the power of AI responsibly and ethically. By understanding and mitigating the risks, we can unlock the incredible potential of AI to solve problems and improve our lives. Not just focus on the negative.
That was a great point to end on. AI has so much potential for good, but we need to be smart about how you use it. Okay, so we've tackled all 25 questions. I feel like we've covered a ton of ground. Before we wrap up, let's take a step back and look at the big picture. What are some of the key takeaways from this deep dive?
Well, one of the biggest takeaways is that AI risk management is not a one-time thing.
Right.
It's an ongoing process that requires constant vigilance and adaptation.
Because the technology is evolving so rapidly, right?
Exactly. New risks are emerging all the time, and organizations need to be prepared to address them.
So it's not enough to just put safeguards in place. You need to continuously monitor and adjust them as the technology changes.
Absolutely. Another key takeaway is that AI risk management is about more than just protecting data and systems. It's also about protecting people.
That's something that really stood out to me as well. We talked about algorithmic bias and the potential for AI systems to perpetuate unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
Right. AI systems are trained on data, and if that data is biased, the AI will be biased too. That's why it's so crucial to use diverse and representative data sets and to carefully test for and mitigate bias in AI systems.
And it's not just about bias within the data itself, right?
Right.
There's also the potential for bias in the way AI systems are designed and used.
Absolutely. That's why ethical considerations need to be embedded into every stage of the AI lifecycle. From development to deployment, we need to be thinking about the potential impact of AI on people, all people.
So it's not just about the technical aspects of AI risk management. It's also about the human element. We need to be mindful of the potential impact of AI on individuals and society as a whole.
Exactly. And that brings us to another key takeaway, which is the importance of human oversight.
Right. We talked about how even the most sophisticated AI systems still need human guidance to ensure they are being used responsibly and ethically.
Human oversight is essential for ensuring that AI aligns with our values and doesn't stray into harmful territory. It's about finding that balance between leveraging the power of AI and maintaining human control.
This brings us to something you mentioned earlier about governance. It sounds like that plays a key role in ensuring human oversight is effective.
It absolutely does. Good governance provides the framework for responsible AI development and use. It's about having clear policies, procedures, and accountability mechanisms in place to guide the way organizations use AI.
It sounds like governance is kind of like the guardrails that keep AI on track.
That's a great way to put it. It helps to ensure that AI is being used safely, ethically, and for the benefit of all.
Okay, so we've got continuous monitoring and adaptation, the importance of protecting people, the need for ethical considerations and human oversight, and the crucial role of governance. Anything else we should add to our list of key takeaways?
I think it's important to remember that AI risk management is not just about avoiding negative outcomes. It's also about unlocking the positive potential of AI.
Right. We talked about how AI has the potential to solve some of the world's biggest challenges, from climate change to disease.
Exactly. By effectively managing the risks, we can create a future where AI is a force for good in the world.
That's a great way to frame it. So it's not about being afraid of AI. It's about using it wisely and responsibly.
Precisely. And that requires understanding the risks, putting safeguards in place, and continuously adapting our approach as the technology evolves.
Well said. So to sum it all up, AI risk management is a complex and multifaceted challenge, but it's also an incredibly important one. By taking a proactive and thoughtful approach to managing the risks, we can harness the power of AI to create a better future for everyone. Before we move on to the final thought, I'd like to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the idea of AI risk management as an ongoing process. I'm wondering if you could elaborate on that a bit more.
Sure. One way to think about it is in terms of a feedback loop. You start by identifying and assessing the risks, then you implement mitigation strategies. But you don't stop there. You need to continuously monitor the effectiveness of those strategies and be prepared to adjust them as needed.
So it's like a cycle of continuous improvement.
Exactly. You're constantly learning and adapting as the technology evolves and as new risks emerge.
That makes a lot of sense. So what are some of the things organizations can do to build this kind of continuous improvement into their AI risk management approach?
One important step is to establish clear roles and responsibilities for AI risk management. Who is responsible for identifying and assessing risks? Who is responsible for implementing mitigation strategies? Who is responsible for monitoring and reporting on those strategies?
So it's about having a clear governance structure in place.
Exactly. You also need to make sure that everyone involved in the AI lifecycle understands their role in managing risks. This includes not only the technical teams who are developing and deploying AI systems, but also the business leaders who are making decisions about how AI is used.
It sounds like communication is key here.
Absolutely. Everyone needs to be on the same page when it comes to AI risk management. This includes not only internal stakeholders, but also external stakeholders, such as customers, partners, and regulators.
So it's about fostering a culture of transparency and accountability.
Precisely. Organizations need to be open about the risks associated with AI and be willing to engage in dialogue with stakeholders about how to manage those risks.
This has been a really insightful discussion. I feel like we've covered a lot of important ground today. Before we wrap things up, I'd like to get your thoughts on one final question. We've talked a lot about the potential risks of AI, but what about the risks of AI risk management itself? Are there any potential downsides to being overly cautious, you know, or focusing too narrowly on mitigating risks? Could that, like, stifle innovation or limit the potential benefits of AI?
That's a great question. It's something we definitely need to be mindful of. I mean, it's a bit like the saying, the only certainties in life are death and taxes, right?
Right.
We can add one more to that list. There's no such thing as zero risk.
Okay.
If we become so obsessed with eliminating every conceivable risk, we could end up, hindering progress. Like, we could miss out on some of the amazing things that AI could achieve if we're too afraid to take any risks at all.
So how do we find that balance between managing risks and, fostering innovation?
It's a bit of a tightrope walk, but it's not impossible.
Okay.
One key is to focus on proportionality. Not all risks are created equal, right? Some are more likely to occur than others, and some have a greater potential impact. We need to prioritize our efforts and focus on mitigating those most significant risks, while also being open to accepting a certain level of risk in order to allow for, experimentation and innovation.
So it's about being strategic and discerning in our approach to risk management.
Exactly. Another key is to encourage a culture of open communication and collaboration. This means creating an environment where people feel comfortable raising concerns about potential risks without fear of being shut down or punished.
That sounds like a healthy work environment in general.
It is. It's also important to foster a culture of learning. We need to be constantly learning from our mistakes and from the experiences of others. This means sharing information about both successes and failures in AI risk management so that we can all learn and improve.
This has been such an insightful discussion. I feel like I have a much deeper understanding of the complexities of AI risk management.
Yeah.
Any final words of wisdom for our listener as they continue on their AI journey?
I would say embrace the challenge. AI risk management is a complex and evolving field, but it's also an incredibly important one. The decisions we make today about how to develop and use AI will have a profound impact on our future. So, let's work together to ensure that AI is a force for good in the world.
Well said. And on that note, I want to thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive today. Your insights have been invaluable.
It was my pleasure. I always enjoy discussing this important topic.
And of course, a huge thank you to you, our listener, for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI risk management. We hope you found it informative and engaging. Remember, if you have any materials you'd like us to take a deep dive into, just send them our way. We're always up for a challenge. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.